Hey everybody, it's Father Sean for another episode here of the Couch Chat, and it is Spy Wednesday. Spy Wednesday. You might ask, what? Spy Wednesday? I've heard of Holy Thursday, heard of Good Friday, but Spy Wednesday? Maybe you've heard of it, maybe you haven't. But Wednesday of Holy Week would have been the day that Judas goes and begins to spy on Jesus. He conspires with the Sanhedrin to basically turn over Jesus to them. And so he begins to watch. He begins to spy on Jesus. And he's basically working for the other team now, infiltrated Jesus' inner circle and functioning as a spy. Also, the gospel that we read for daily mass today is about Judas's agreement that he works up with the Sanhedrin to hand over Jesus. And so today is Spy Wednesday. And as we have the last few years on Spy Wednesday, we have a day of grace happening right now at St. Joseph. So that's confessions and adoration from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m., kind of the last blowout sale of confession. Not that they're going to go away, because there's still opportunities on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday to go to confession. But, there's 12 hours. Speaking of Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, it's time. We are in the Triduum. And so Triduum is the fancy word for 3 days, the holy 3 days of the year, the holiest time of our year, of our life as Catholics. So we start, of course, tomorrow with Holy Thursday, Mass in the evening at 7 p.m., both at St. Joseph and Immaculate Conception. And that Mass is notable for a number of things. I mean, there's a couple things that just kind of jump right off out of the page at you. But one of them is the washing of feet. We imitate Jesus's emptying of himself in service, and really the institution of the priesthood that day, the gift of the Eucharist that he offers us, the perpetual memorial of his suffering and death. Jesus memorializes his sacrifice with a meal. So it's a sacrificial meal that he begins on Holy Thursday at the Last Supper, so that his outpouring, his love, his sacrifice may be perpetuated into eternity. And so, of course, with that, Mass ends on Thursday with a procession of the Blessed Sacrament in adoration. And then there's the 7 church pilgrimage. There's information about that. I don't think the full page ad made it in the bulletin, but it's online. You can see it there, and maybe you know the 7 places that we normally send people to from previous years. There's probably also going to be flyers near the doors. And then, of course, Good Friday, we celebrate the liturgy of the Lord's Passion. We have the veneration of the cross. We read the Passion narrative from John and have the long petitions asking our Lord's mercy upon the entire world. And we don't actually celebrate Mass on Good Friday. We actually use hosts that were consecrated on Holy Thursday and Good Friday. You'll notice we'll just kind of jump right into the Our Father and then the distribution of Holy Communion. We added something new to the schedule. Really, David and Father Hoyne have been working together on something that's going to be awesome. It's at St. Lawrence at 7 p.m. on Good Friday. It's going to be the Stations of the Cross, so they're going to pray the Stations of the Cross. And if you haven't been out to St. Lawrence since it's been repainted, I feel like this is a perfect opportunity to do that. Also, the Stations of the Cross were repainted at St. Lawrence when they did the repainting of the church. They turned out magnificent. So I just want to encourage everybody to come out. One, if you haven't ever been to St. Lawrence, this is a perfect opportunity to do that. So it's not just going to be the Stations of the Cross. There will also be a veneration of the relic of the true cross. So we'll get to our parish has a relic of the true cross. There'll be an opportunity to venerate that relic. And then also there will be sacred music. So David has been organizing a schola to perform some powerful Passion of our Lord hymns, songs, meditation. So that should be a great thing. So especially if you can't make it to things in the afternoon, to come 7 p.m. on Good Friday out at St. Lawrence. And then, of course, on Saturday night, there will be the Easter Vigil, which begins at 9 p.m. And words cannot do justice as to how magnificent the Easter Vigil is. There's part of me that's like a 10-year-old boy that loves the fact that we start with a bonfire. But what a powerful way to commemorate the fact that death has lost its sting, that our Lord has risen from the dead. So it's going to be a great time. We've got a big group of people coming into the church this year. So I think the number is 11. So that is going to be spectacular to bring them into the church, to baptize, And all of the liturgy of the word, all of the readings are just absolutely magnificent. So it's going to be it's not a quick mass, but it's one that just, it leaves a mark on your soul. It leaves the confidence of the power of Christ's victory that we get to commemorate. So if you've never been to an Easter vigil, maybe this is the year, during this great Jubilee year. And then lastly, Easter Sunday Masses are just spectacular. There's just something about commemorating the resurrection of Jesus. So look forward to celebrating this great time with you. And then, of course, Easter is it's an octave. So in the church, we celebrate Sunday to Sunday like it's Easter. So hopefully you get to do that. I'm kind of at a loss of words. I don't know if you can tell. It's just such a magnificent time of year. So look forward to getting to celebrate with you, to celebrate the passion, the death, and ultimately the resurrection of Jesus Christ. So a reminder, Day of Grace happening right now up at St. Joseph, and we'll see you this week and getting to celebrate the glory of our Lord. Peace.